When you sacrifice going to that little local club, going to that local bar, going to that local event, don't you realize if you stayed down for 6 months to a year, it don't take that long. If you stay down for 6 months to a year, your life can change. Don't you realize in 6 months to a year that you can enjoy things on a different level? Right now, this is Freewenow podcast.
Till it is backwards.
Yes, Sirski. And we just had a podcast, right? And we film episodes. We batch record, right? So we're talking about leadership and we're talking about listening and hearing, right? And literally after the pod, we started talking about just podcasting and things we're doing and where we at, right? So big shout out to Hendo, right? The studio that we're in, the owner of Hendo Studios. Come check it out. Have everything you need. But he gave some great advice, some great ideas
on how to improve. And this episode is going to be called Get It Off. Get It Off.
So we just going to get off everything that we want to get off, everything that we hold in. Why not get it off? How you going to have a podcast and you'll never get it off?
Hey, there ain't no script to this one. We usually got like predetermined questions and then we kind of conversate from there. But right now it is us on the humbug.
On the humbug, right? So right now we were talking about like, hey, we were kind of frustrated because our content is deeper content.
Very, very, very
You feel me?
deep.
It's not necessarily clickbait. We're not just talking about your favorite relationship or the male and female dynamic and all that. We're not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about real stuff to get you free. And as you know, that's slower to catch on.
It is.
You got to put in more work and you got to really build slowly and carefully and strategically when you have deeper content. So right now we were just kind of like brainstorming, you know what I'm saying? Trying to figure it out. And then he was like, why don't y'all do current events? We was like, okay. And then he was like, have y'all heard about Diddy and Cassie? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I ain't hear about it. So then Keith started talking about it. I'm like, what? Whoa. And then Hendo started talking. I'm like, yo, what? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, you know what? Y'all should do reaction videos. And I said, wow.
That would work. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to react.
And this is, and I'm about to get deep. Right? And this is part of the reason of showing up. Like half the battle is showing up. We haven't done content in a while. I know myself, I was kind of frustrated with the engagement. And I know we talking good stuff. Like people will see, it's like our content is so deep that like sometimes people are like afraid to comment on it. But if you see me in public, you pull me or Keith to the side and be like, yo, I like what y'all was doing. You know what I'm saying? Or what you said was XYZ. But they're not resharing the deep content or they're not commenting on the deep content because it's taboo.
It's taboo.
It's not entertainment. It don't make you feel good all the time. Like, cause the truth makes you self-reflect and it hurts first.
Yeah.
Going to work out hurts first before you look better.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's very true.
So I say all that to say, to bring a full circle moment, right, of getting off, you have to show up. Because what if we didn't show up tonight and we didn't come and record and the whole time we're like, man, what are we gonna talk about? We need some topics.
Yeah.
And now we get here and now Hendo gave us an idea and now we got a whole other strategy that we wouldn't have had if we wouldn't have showed up.
It's like, and the crazy thing is it's been happening not just here, but just in different aspects, right? So one of the things that I've been trying to get into, like, you know what I'm saying, is like different real estate stuff, right? Like trying to buy properties, trying to like open up different streams of revenue, right? To help me out further on down the line, right? And Hassan just hit me up one day and was like, yo, let's go to this real estate conference. Like, let's go to this thing on the rooftop when we just chilling at the crib, right? And like I had no plan. Like I didn't know what to do, what to say, right? And all we did was show up. We just showed up. And then you start to see all these different people that you're engaging with in different contexts. And now it seems like me just being there that one day has opened me up to a different multitude of people to meet and how to know stuff. Like literally, who's recording our podcast right now? We met him at this event.
At the real estate event.
There would have been no possible way for us to even be here making this recording if we hadn't met him at the event, bro. So that's what it is. Showing up in different areas to meet different people and do different things. Show up, and show out.
Facts. How you gonna expect God to show up for you when you won't even show up for yourself?
Exactly.
You can't expect God to show up for you if you ain't doing your part. You got to show up for yourself first.
Show up.
You a lot of times people are like, why my friends aren't resharing it? Why the people I know don't support what I'm doing? A lot of times that support comes from the people that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like the people that know, even Jesus couldn't do miracles in his hometown because they just knew him. Oh, that's him from, that's little Jesus.
We know what he does.
We know what he, nah. Like your support a lot of times come from people that you don't know, right? So keep showing up for yourself first, and then the masses will start showing up for you. And I'm speaking to us right now. I'm speaking to myself right now.
Exactly.
I'm not just speaking to y'all. Like I don't ever want y'all to get it confused. Like we do these podcasts and like some of them have gotten a lot of views, and people start thinking we made it because we got views, or thinking that we still don't have trouble or like problems or struggles, or like go through these periods of like procrastination and not feeling like we gonna make it quick enough, like, or you know what I mean? Why is it here? Or like we want it yesterday. We think we should have been viral yesterday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yet alone right now, we talking about yesterday. Like Nip said, he was like, rest in peace to Nip. He was like, yo, I went through every emotion.
Yeah.
I went through every emotion chasing my dream.
And you're going to go through some frustration, especially with the type of stuff that we're doing, right? Like when we say Freewenow till it's backwards, right? Like the most important thing about that is free. Like the stuff that we're offering up, the stuff that we're delivering is, like you said, it's not your everyday clickbait. It's not the stuff that you're going to always laugh about with your friends. It's not going to be the stuff that gets you the most popping Instagram post or the most important crazy stuff like that. But it is some stuff that you are going to have to self-reflect on. It's the type of stuff that is going to make you go into the mirror and be like, dang, like, am I doing the right thing? Like,
facts.
Am I really moving in my life a certain way, right? And don't get me wrong, like, yes, we get frustrated not having the motion that we want, right? But I would say one of the greatest feelings, right, is when somebody pulls me aside and is like, yo, like, what you're talking about has helped me.
Priceless.
And like, and it makes me forget about all the stuff that I'm frustrated about, right? Because at least I see the motion, or I see the impact that I'm starting to have, whether it's one person, whether it's two people, whether it's 100, whether it's 1 million people, like being able to just impact one soul and have them listen to what we're saying and feel like they're better shows me what we're doing is important.
Facts, bro. It reminds us why we doing this, why we even started this.
Yeah.
Like, why do we even get a camera on and record?
Yeah.
Why don't we just keep talking on our car rides or before we go somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we do it, to get free. You know what I'm saying? Like, helping y'all get free frees us.
Honestly, because I learn stuff on this podcast every day, like stuff that I didn't think about.
Facts.
Like I'll be so tuned in sometimes. I'll be like, y'all don't understand. When I be listening though. I don't even sometimes be focused on the camera, like, dang, that sounds really, he's making a good point, right?
Talk,
like I even go home and I reflect on some of the stuff that's being said, right? Because some of the stuff that is said hits me home, and I'm like, yo, maybe I'm not doing the best at that either, right?
No, that's real talk,
so
bro.
It's building blocks.
It's building blocks, bro. And so on that note, what y'all can see from us coming forward is, like, we are going to pivot a little bit. We're going to start doing more reaction videos.
We're taking a leadership role and listening to the people around us.
Facts. And we're going to start doing more current event topics, right? The message won't change.
It will never change.
The message won't change. The delivery might be a little different. You know what I'm saying? The way it's marketed might be a little different, but the message will still be the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still be free.
Free.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're still promoting truth to get people free from whatever they may be in bondage from. You know what I'm saying? And so another thing, right? And another thing, since this is the get it off, right?
I'm gonna get it off. Get it off your chest.
Another thing that vexes me, right?
Vexes.
Is I don't even know, is it vex me or vex? Whatever. It vexes me. I'm standing on business, right? Another thing that is when people get money, or when people feel like they're doing a good deed by going to Africa, going to Europe, going overseas, and taking care of a children or African baby or a black baby that's overseas, when we got people in the hood right here that don't have nothing to eat. We got people in the hood right now, people impoverished, people right now in LA and San Diego, the homeless population is OD. Okay, it's crazy.
Ridiculous.
And you feel some type of entitlement, you feel some type of glorious deed has been done because you going overseas and trying to bring a black baby back here and saying, look at what I've done. Like that, that gets on my nerves. You know how many cities it is? You know how many people that you can touch right here in America? in the hood, in the ghettos, right here, and you feeling some type of good deed because you going overseas. Look, I know it's some wild stuff going on. Maybe you don't want to bring them to your house. That's cool. I ain't tripping because it's someone I probably ain't bringing to my crib either. Right? At the same time, I'm gonna keep it 100. But at the same time, you can provide some financial support for them. You know what I'm saying? You can help their family with their light bill, help their family with their rent, help them get some food, pay for their tuition. You know what I'm saying? These celebrities and people with money and influence and resources and power, like, stop going overseas and feeling like you doing something because you helping a black kid overseas when there's black people right here that's starving, that's struggling. Y'all, man, stop playing.
Hey,
bro.
man, and just to piggyback off that, right? One thing that kills me, right, sometimes is the fear of missing out, right? It seems like everybody is so willing to do something that everybody else is doing instead of focusing on the problems that they got in themselves or the problems they got at home.
Facts,
right?
bro.
It's so easy to be like, yo, my friend's about to take this trip. Oh, everybody's doing this. Everybody's doing that. Like, let me go enjoy that with them. But you can't even take care of the stuff that you got going on with you, right? You can't take care of the problems that are at home. You can't take care of the problems that are affecting you in your everyday life, right? But you ain't gonna miss your homies, best friends, bachelor party, overseas, whatever. Like, the fear of missing out, bro, is just an excuse not to deal with the stuff that you got to deal with. The fear of missing out is just an excuse not to deal with the stuff that you got to deal with, right? Because don't get me wrong, like, yeah, I want to be with my friends. Like, I want to turn up. I want to go hang out. I want to go do all these different things, right? I want to go to the club because something might happen that might be exciting, right? But
you think we don't want to take trips?
You think we don't want to do this?
You think we don't want to go travel overseas, see the world, go to the beach, kick it? You know what I'm saying? Be on the, whatever.
Everybody loves that.
Be in the villas, have the water pictures when it's clear water. You can see the bottom, and it's like, you think we don't want to do that too? You don't think we don't want to be rich and have great cars and have the stars in the ceiling?
But the most important project is yourself.
Come on, man.
And that's the thing that you got to give time to. And honestly, that is sacrificing that time of the fear of missing out. That is sacrificing that time of going to the club. That is sacrificing that time of taking that trip. That is sacrificing that time to go to an event just because other people are going to be there, right? You have to make the priority yourself, right? And I said this in previous podcasts, right? And don't misconstrue this when I say this, but I'm saying the most important thing in your life at all times should be yourself, right? Because if you can't take care of yourself, if you can't build yourself up, you can't take care of nobody else.
Facts.
Right? If you don't put yourself first, then you can't show other people how to put themselves first. You can't set the example so that they can be better themselves, right? The fear of missing out is just an excuse not to deal with the stuff that you got going on, right? And honestly, like, I'm about to start missing out on stuff. I'm about to start missing out on these things that are taking away from the things that I want to do, that are taking away from the times that I need to research certain stuff that make me better.
Facts. You can't. This is the thing people don't understand. When you sacrifice going to that little local club, going to that local bar, going to that local event, don't you realize if you stay down for 6 months to a year, it don't take that long. If you stay down for 6 months to a year, your life can change. Don't you realize in 6 months to a year that you can enjoy things on a different level? It's a different level. It's a different type of experience when you have the means to do what you want to do, and you can fly here, fly there, right? Go to Jamaica, go to wherever around the world on a private jet. You know what I'm saying? And you worried about going to the local bar? You worried about going to the local club?
You know what's crazy? The people that are the most successful don't have a fear of missing out on nothing. Because they're making the things that they want important.
Facts.
They afraid of missing out on themselves.
Ooh, successful people are afraid of missing out on themselves. That's deep.
Yo, I heard Myron Golden say, he was like, yo, I charge $40,000 for a consultation with me, right? And he was like, yeah, if somebody offers me 10, I could go do that consultation, but I'm missing out on something that can make me the money that I value myself at, right?
Facts.
You gotta go after the things that are gonna increase value, right? And fear of missing out, yes, like, it is gonna keep you away for some fun times, right? It's gonna keep you away from maybe that little fun event that you missed something that was important to other people. Like, it may make you miss that, right? But at the end of the day, like, that miss out is going to put you in a different opportunity, right? Like I said, it is going to make you meet the cameraman who's recording your podcast. It's going to make you end up in Hendo Studios, so you talk about different things that increase what you got going on, right? And that's because we prioritize missing out on everybody else's stuff so that we didn't miss out on our own lives.
Facts. People that miss out at one point they're the people that end up being successful.
Yeah.
If you don't miss out on anything, you at everything, you don't miss out on nothing. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you're in the same spot you were. And you'll continue to be in the same spot for the rest of your life if you don't miss out on anything.
Yeah.
You lack discipline. You want to go to, you gotta be everywhere.
Everywhere.
You gotta do everything. You gotta take every trip. And I feel bad for the ladies. Cause all of y'all friends, like, bro, like, talking to these girls, bro, they be telling me, well, my friend said they want to go there. And my friend said they do a birthday trip for every birthday in the friend group.
Yeah.
How, like, that's not financially feasible.
Or responsible.
That's not financially responsible. How can you do that?
How can you be at every trip and still be getting money?
Every trip, you got birthdays, you got Christmas, you got holiday, you at every, well, my birthday trip coming now. Now we got, like, I feel bad for y'all because y'all get caught up in this competition amongst your friends of like, well, what did you do for your birthday? Well, what did you do? What did you, like, yo, that's exhausting.
That is exhausting. Trying to keep up with everybody else is so exhausting.
It's exhausting, yo.
So
you know what I'm
exhausting.
saying? And so, like he was saying, right, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else, especially the fellas, right? We have to understand, yo, we got to miss out on some stuff right now before we can be able to take care of a family. Yeah. It's like being on in an airplane, right? They say what? Put your oxygen mask on first before you can go and help somebody else out, right? Because you can't help somebody else out if you dying. Now two people done died because you didn't put your oxygen mask on first.
Because you didn't want to take care of yourself.
Because you didn't want to take care of yourself. And a lot of times people aren't taking care of themselves, so they're pushing all their pain on other people. Mm-hmm. And now it's a domino effect, right? And the fear of missing out, right? And missing out on parties and missing out on, we'll just say, instant gratification, right? Missing out on that, bro, it has to do with your appetite. Right. And I think your appetite changes when your mind changes. Right. So your mindset, your appetite is connected to your mind. So a lot of times they're like, oh, well, as a kid, I used to like this. I don't like that no more. Right. Or as a kid, all I wanted to do was eat McDonald's, eat this, that, and the third. Right. But as your mindset changes and as you develop your mind, your appetite changes. Right. So that's with food. Like a lot of times, like we say our taste buds are changing. Really, I disagree with that. I think your mindset is changing for whatever it be. It can be for the worse or it could be for the better. Right. So like I used to didn't like medium steak. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta have my medium rare.
I used to have, you know what I'm saying? If it was any little pink, anything, I'm like, ooh, send it back. Right. But now that my mindset is changing, I'm now developing an appetite for not just a medium steak, but now for an appetite for higher level experiences.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing on a food level and the same thing on a life level, right? Once my appetite for what I want changes, and you have to be intentional about it, like listening to music in the car on the way to work, or coming home, or going to this party or that, right? We listen to music so much, well, you can really be listening to a podcast. What if you listen to an informational podcast on whatever you want to do, right? Or take this course, a virtual course, and you listen to that course or some Eric Thomas, some motivation for 15, 20 minutes on that drive to work or on that 45-minute home ride home when you're in traffic. Imagine if you do that on a consistent basis, right? Like change is, when you change your life, it's small changes over time. It's not something drastic. It's not just going cold turkey. Right, is making those small incremental changes, right, over time, and then you look up in 6 months to a year, you be like, man, not comparing yourself to where you should be, but comparing yourself from where you came from.
Where you came from.
You know what I'm saying? So and your appetite, man, your appetite, it has to change, right? There's no way you should be, as a 5-year-old, you don't like the same things a 45-year-old likes. Because your mindset is different.
Yeah.
So I challenge y'all to change your mindset. So now your appetite is changing. Cause like now on the way, now we be like sending each other Myron Golden YouTubes all the time now.
Facts.
When it used to be like sending each other music songs all the time.
Facts.
Now we sending each other financial literacy pod or index funds. You know what I'm saying? Or new loan options on a crib, or sending contacts back and forth for brokers.
Bro, if you could see the content change in our group messages, bro, you would think we were two completely different people, bro.
Facts, bro.
Completely different people. Like
facts.
And it's crazy to see, like, when you surround yourself with people that are kind of on the same wavelength of you, what y'all can build and what y'all can do, right?
Facts.
A lot of people, as we said in the previous podcast, attribute the best friendships to the length of the friendship, right? They attribute the most important things.
No new friends.
They attribute the most important things in their life to how long they've dealt with it, right?
Facts.
But sometimes it could be the friend that you had for 2 weeks, 3 weeks that turns out to be the best friend that you ever had in your life, right?
You ever had.
It's about a mindset and a willingness to grow, right? If y'all looking in y'all group message, if y'all living in y'all life and the people that you are surrounded by aren't doing anything, they're not trying to build, they're not looking at ways to increase, they're not looking at ways to be better, and they're not calling you out for the stuff that you're not doing right, bro, you got the wrong people around you, bro.
Facts.
You got the wrong people in your life, right? And you are going to like convert to the means. You're going to convert to the baseline. So if they're not talking about nothing and doing nothing, you're going to slowly convert to that baseline, right?
Facts.
So you got to put yourself in the best situations, right? And as we still talking about the get it off, I'm going to change it to a different subject, bro. I hate how everybody promotes the negative. The negative is the most talked about thing on the internet and everything that we talk about. You know what drives me crazy? Yo, I love the NFL, bro. I love football, bro. I breathe football. Like, I could watch football all day, bro, and never change the channel, right? Football is one of the most important things in my life. I don't even got to be playing it. I just love the game of football, everything that's entitled to it, bro. But one of the most disappointing things that I ever see, bro, is when we get to the NFL draft. And they talk about these players having the most amazing careers and doing everything that they did to get there. One of the biggest things they promote is, oh yeah, his mama was a crack addict. Oh yeah, he didn't have no dad. Oh yeah, he had these gun violence charges. Oh yeah, he had this. Oh yeah, he struggled so much to get here. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. The story is just as much as important as the ending, but you don't want to hear that at your most glorious moments about how these things that don't matter about this moment right now were the things that shaped you, right? Like, why are we promoting the negative, right? And to take it to a relationship basis, right? Everybody likes to get on social media and say men ain't this, women ain't this, men are terrible, women are terrible, right? The only people that's talking about that are the people that are having these negative experiences. Misery loves company, and a lot of y'all are super miserable, bro. Y'all are extremely miserable. You don't hear the people having great experiences talking about the negative. You don't hear the people that are in long-lasting relationships talking about how men ain't this and men ain't that. You know why? Because they are with the man that they're in love with. They're with the man that promotes their growth. Same thing with women. They're with the woman that supports them. They're with the woman that does this. Like, let's stop promoting the negative so much just so that we can get views, just so we can get clicks, just so that everybody can talk about what we're saying. But let's talk about positive things. Let's talk about stuff that is meant to build people up. Let's talk about stuff that's meant to get people free, and make that the basis of your life, bro. Because if you start moving with positivity, you start moving with nurturing effects. If you start moving with growth, you start moving with uplifting stuff. That's how your life is going to go. If you are a person surrounded by the negative, if you're a person that just likes to dwell in the problems that everybody has, that's what you are, a problem. You're an enigma. You're something that feeds off people. You're a leech. You are a leech, bro. And we don't want that, bro. We don't want that, bro. Like, we want to build people up, bro. Let's talk about the positive things. Let's stop being negative about everything, bro. That is so draining and so terrible. Like, even when I talk about something that's negative going in my day, bro, it just makes my day worse, bro. Like, when you come home from a long day and you talk about all the bad things that happen at work, you just brought work home. And now your home is just as much drained as your job, right? But if you come home, you be like, yeah, I'm gonna let that go. What you do today? Oh, I did this. Hey, what you learn? Oh, I learned this. Like, you start talking about positive things, the negative no longer is important.
Energy is so contagious.
So contagious, bro.
I don't think we understand how contagious energy really is.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have somebody who's negative. You're not even in the same room with them. They just send you a text message and you see their name and you don't really rock with them, and watch how everything around you changes. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, it can be your favorite person, right? Text you, or they're in the same room with you, or they call you and you light up. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be in your car or listening to music wherever you at, and the music so contagious that it picks you up or it pushes you down. Or you listen to it and it reminds you of some memories that are super bad, so it takes you down. You know what I'm saying? Or it can remind you of something super positive and lift you up. So you have to be super intentional about what you allow into your force field, what you allow into your aura. You know what I'm saying? Your energy and the frequencies that you vibrate to. You know what I mean? Because it's contagious. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that can be a life hack.
Life hack.
Because if you realize that energy is so contagious, you can start intentionally putting yourself in rooms, right, to catch the energy and then have a domino effect to propel you in the right way. But if you're not aware of it, if you're not intentional about it, you can go into these other situations and it take your life away. You know what I'm saying? So with that, man, like I want y'all to really understand that, like, the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over and expecting a different result.
A different outcome. You
doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result. And I'll segue. Procrastination, like, it's subtle, because even listening to motivational stuff, reading about motivational stuff, going to conferences, right, networking, that can even become a form of procrastination too. Because I know a lot of people who take these courses but don't do anything with it.
You just sit through it, don't do nothing with it.
You can become addicted to listening to Eric Thomas in the morning, but you actually not taking action.
Yeah.
You can become addicted to going to these conferences and feel like you're doing something, or posting these memes where you feel like you're doing, but you're not really doing what you're doing. You're not really doing what you're saying.
You're not doing what you're doing.
You feel me? So understand that. Let's elevate, yo. Let's go higher, right? Like, life is about experiences. People can be like, Martin Golden said, he was like, I've been driving a tractor for 40 years. I'm the best tractor driver ever, right? But really, you became a tractor driver. You became good at that in like 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you stayed there.
So the length of time doing something doesn't make you more of an expert because you've been doing it for so much longer. You know what I'm saying? Just because you've been doing something for 40 years doesn't mean you're better at it than somebody that's been doing it for 5 years, because you could have been doing it for 40 years the wrong way.
Yeah.
Or not doing it at 40 years with passion and doing it at the heights that you're supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what else? Anything else that you need to get off? Anything else?
Get off. Bro, protecting. So I found a different sense of what it means to, like, protect people, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all a little story, right? So back in the day, I used to date this girl, right? And we went out to this club. It was me, the girl, a couple of her friends, and then it was me and one of her homeboys, right? Mm-hmm. And it angered me at the moment. It angered the moment when she told me. So later she was like, yeah, I was at the club and this dude, like, smacked my butt. Right. And of course, you know me, I'm like, yo, why didn't you tell me? Like, what's up? Like, I'm finna go to him. I was at the club. We had been drinking. It's us 2 dudes and like 10 females. Right. It's 10 females. Right.
I like my section crowded.
And you know what's crazy is the energy thing. When I walked by these dudes, I had I felt the bad energy. Right. Something told me, it was like, bro, something's off. But, you know, I kept going. Right. And don't get me, it was like 10 to 12 of them. Right. Something was off. Right. And I looked at her, I said, why didn't you tell me? And she looked me in my eyes. She said, why would I put you in that situation?
Oh.
She said, because I know you and I know my best friend. You would have went over there. You had been drinking. Y'all would have got into a fight. And then it's 12 of them against 2 dudes. Like, what am I setting you up for? You know what I'm saying? And though, like, my pride wouldn't let me understand what she was saying at that moment, because all I could see was, some dude, you know, smacked your butt. Right. And I'm still today, right?
To this day.
But the fact that that woman was able to process, like, putting me in that situation would have put me in danger. Like, it could have put my life in danger. It could have put her life in danger. It could have put anybody else's life in danger. And something in that situation could have came out for something that was so small, essentially, right? So, like, protecting people is also not putting in them situations that are going to put them in danger. And one thing I look at is a lot of women like to put their man in a situation. Like, they love to throw their man's name around, as in, yeah, you keep doing that, I'm gonna go get my man, like, to come deal with you.
I'm gonna get my brother.
I'm gonna go get my brother to come deal with you, right?
Yeah.
And, like, and they use that as their basis of how they treat people and how they act towards people, because they feel like, I got this safety boundary, I got this safety net, that if I get into something that I feel like I can't get about, they're gonna come protect me. And how many times have you seen those situations turn bad?
Well,
somebody gets shot, somebody gets killed, somebody gets put in a coma, somebody randomly that don't even got nothing to do with the situation gets hurt, right? A protection is not only being able to sit there and sometimes throw hands or being able to speak up, but it's being able to decipher when a situation needs your attention or it doesn't.
Bro, I know firsthand somebody right now, I'll protect their identity, but they doing 15 plus, bro. and the feds because they were protecting their sister.
Yeah. And that's crazy. Like,
it's crazy.
Why
bro.
would you put somebody that you love into a situation that is like can damn their lives?
Facts, bro.
Like 15 years, bro. And I'm gonna be honest, I bet both of them look back on the situation like it wasn't even worth it.
Come on, yo.
Bro, protection goes to a different level. It's not about just being able to stand up and like you said, stand on business and deal with it and, you know what I'm saying, meet head on anger with anger. It is being able to think logically, like, is this situation worth it? Like, is what I'm putting this person that I love into worth it? Like, am I doing the right thing by this? Like, that really put me in a different mindset, right? Because I felt like protection was like, hey, just fighting, like just fighting for what you're standing on. That was crazy.
For her to do that, bro.
That was crazy.
Like, she could have turned up and put you in a position where it's like, nah, you got to perform because she performing.
Yeah, that would have been bad,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? That would have been bad because you can't go out, nah, they ain't going to look good.
And I was already drinking, so you already know I was about to be about that action.
Yeah, nah,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. Yes, Sirski. Hey, listen, man. Hey, I like this Get It Off podcast episode that we did. I think we might need to start doing more. So coming down the pipeline is going to be some more reaction videos, Get It Off videos, some more current events, and more consistency and more just transparency of like what's going on with us.
What's really going on?
You know what I'm saying? And how we feeling.
We're going to even start doing some like background content so y'all can see like what it takes to produce this, like what it takes to do with this.
And this last thing, you know what's interesting? You start doing something, everybody's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah.
So like we saying like we got a podcast now, people see our videos, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast. I wanna start a podcast. I'm about to start a podcast too.
Yeah.
I don't see no action. I don't see no motion.
Action.
Cause it's more than what it seems.
It's more than what it seems.
You feel me? It's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money that goes into it.
And frustration.
You know, right.
A lot of frustration.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Talk to him now.
It's a lot of frustration too. I'm telling you.
All right. Any last words for the people?
Hey man, as always, I love being here, bro. And I ain't got nothing else to say. I love being here. Appreciate y'all, man.
For sure. Hey, I love y'all too. It's Freewenow.
Till it's backwards.
Yeah.